Thank you for joining us today. With us is Ramon, Tats, Suzara, the president of the Philippine National Volleyball Federation. And the subject matter will be volleyball. Nice to see you again, Tats. And we've known each other for a very long time now, huh?
Tagal na.
Tagal na. But the nice thing is that you're leading the federation, which probably has one of the most popular sports in the country. How would you assess 2023?
Yeah, if you remember, Seb, na makakilala tayo, way back pa in the early 90s, there was no television for volleyball.
Correct.
Even the UAAP and NCAA. We had a commercial league yung sa San Miguel,
Correct.
if you remember. But we have the best players in Southeast Asia at that time, but there was no television. But now with the popularity of women's volleyball especially, and television is there, it has grown really tremendously on the spectator development, sponsors, their superstars, no? But again, as I said, at the end of the day, we need medals for our national team. And the last time that we had, especially for women's volleyball, the last time that we had a gold medal was in 1993.
Tagal na.
Tagal na. And the bronze medal was in 2005. So I think it's high time. The sports has been changing a lot. A lot of player skills, height for players, and there's a lot of change in the sport itself. No?
Okay. From a macro perspective, 2023, you and I were casually talking and we said, I thanked you and I said, Tats, salamat busog na busog sa volleyball tayo over the last 2 years. You know?
Yeah.
How would you evaluate the sport?
Yeah. When I was elected president of this new federation in pandemic time, which is 2021, one of my main objectives is to really to bring the sport to a higher level. And when we hosted the VNL last year, it made a big big clamor that high-level volleyball is needed in the Philippines. Since we had the PVL is very popular on television, spectators, and ito men's volleyball last year that it became so the crowd was also 12,000, including this year. So I think the level of women's volleyball and men's volleyball, I think should be equal. Popularity, we need to create more awareness for men's volleyball because men's players are more developed for basketball, as you know, for the height. But if you see in other countries and even in the VNL, you see a lot of tall players from other countries.
That's true.
So I think we are going back to the development. They call it grassroots. And we're trying to start again back to zero of bringing our young players to be top-level national team players in the future.
Why is it important that in the scheme of things, in the popularity of the game, that we still have to have a strong national team? Of course, it's for country and everything. Yeah. Why is it important for volleyball?
I think, like any other sport, the turnover of players, when they get old, you need to have new players. Thailand is one example that they have a very good grassroots or I call it age group teams, and I'd like to go back to this because in the past, I don't know if you remember, we had junior teams na really good, no, who were really good players in Southeast Asia and in Asia. So I'm trying to bring back this program, also encouraging young coaches to be part of this age group program. And next year, there will be an Asian Under-18 Championship, and we will return and participate in this Under-18 Men and Women's Championship.
Okay. There's this misconception and misunderstanding that you and the Premier Volleyball League are at odds daw, that you don't talk. But all I know is that some of the officers of that organization are also involved in the federation.
Yeah, you know, PVL is a member of the PNBF, although they are under the jurisdiction of GAB, no, as a professional league, no, and professional sport and professional players. But the president of PVL is Ricky Palou, who is also vice president of PNBF. I think the important thing here is a balance, cooperation, and the support of our team owners of club teams with the national team. In other countries, when there is a national team period, all club players focuses on the national team period because we have a national team period from May 15 to October 15.
Okay.
The club period is from October 15 to May 15. I know it's not as easy for PVL to adjust to this calendar because we have been used to what we call a basketball type
Yeah,
of
three
conferences
conferences,
a year.
okay.
Say. So now, starting next year, I had a meeting already with the PVL team owners just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And then I had a meeting again today with the PVL president, Ricky Palou. The commitment is there. There's been a number of players for each club to be in the national team, and they will not play in the ongoing season once it's a national team period. This way, the national team coaches can focus really on the players, and the players can focus also with the national team. Because before, we have only about 1, 2 competitions in a year, including the SEA Games pa yun. But since this year, we had 6 events per national team. You have men, you have women. Sa indoor yun. May beach volleyball players all year round.
Exactly.
Walang ano doon. Walang winter season doon. All year round doon.
So you're seeing that the calendar will somehow converge and give a chance for the national team to be
Yes,
formed.
we have finalized the calendar. PBL has given the calendar, and they have committed. And I hope they they really push their promise to commit in this one. And again, to be in the national team is really flag and country.
Okay.
And we have a big future for them in the next 2 years.
If you were to pinpoint some of the things na kailangan natin gawin for the national,
Okay.
aside from players.
Yeah. A success of the national team needs a lot of money, financial support, needs a lot of competitions. That's why as much as competitions that we can participate, we'll participate. And I'm happy to let everybody know that we have improved our world ranking from 100. I think we were 117 before, 120, and now we are on the 59 or 60s for the men and women because we participate more in AVC and Asian and international volleyball competition. So this has been a big, tremendous achievement for our national teams, both indoor and beach volleyball.
Okay. We are not lacking in talents. We just did the PNVF tournament recently,
Yeah.
and there are so many schools and clubs, and it's just a matter of doing what? Tapping them?
Tapping them. In fact, during the Under-18 championships we had a few months ago, there are a lot of really young talents. And this Challenge Cup also, there's a lot of young talents from the different teams from the provinces. So if we bring them together, of course, if they are from the provinces, you have to bring them to Manila. I think there's a lot of offers from the universities or from the military or for other clubs for them to play. Since now we have a women's professional league, which is PVL, and now slowly I heard that Spikers Turf is going to be a semi-professional league, which is good. And we can get really the best players of the country, and the target, of course, is our hosting, which we look forward for 2025.
What are the chances of the Philippines? And everybody was tickled pink, saying, "Oh, Philippines, World Volleyball," because they've had the VNL taste already. And this is for the women's tournament that we forwarded a bit. What's the status of that?
This is the 2025 Women's World Championship. As you know, the World Championship cycle usually was 4 years. But this year, it has changed. The FIVB board has changed because there are a lot of countries requesting to host a world championship. And now we are bidding for the 2025 World Women's Championship for the first time, to be co-shared with two other countries. Philippines is there. We made our final bid, and then we have Thailand and Hong Kong, who are the other countries who are bidding for this. And I'm hoping that we win the bid, and we get the semifinals and finals to be here in the Philippines.
And the decision makers have already talked to you, or they
Yes,
visited
yeah,
venues?
they came here already twice. There will be a final bid pitch meeting on January 10 with government officials, so that they need to get the commitment of the government, and of course from our senators and from PSC, POC. So they're coming here on January 10, but they had already they came here already twice to make inspection for the venues. Of course, we have Moa Arena, Smart Arena Coliseum as the main venues, and of course, we'll use also the Phil Sports Arena.
Okay, on that topic, if the Philippines does host in 20, automatically we have a team.
Yes,
And this is both just for the women.
women.
And you're looking at the team that has professionals from the PBL and hopefully some young ones. What's your
Okay,
view?
my idea, my proposal, which I have discussed also with PVL and some universities, is to have the best players of the Philippines, to come up with a 18-man or 18 women team, and then the final stage is to select the top 14 players. I think this is my personal idea, but I leave that to the coaches, is to have at least maybe 12 professional players and 4 university players.
Just so there's some continuity.
Yeah, continuity, yeah.
Do you foresee some foreign exposure for them
Yes,
before?
yes. In fact, once we are awarded, hopefully if we win the bid by March, the FIVB will support us with an 18 months training competitions to prepare our team for the World Championships.
You know, Tats, you're not a stranger to organizing these big
Big
events.
events.
Of course, you were spearheading the SEA Games that were held here.
Yeah.
What are the challenges of hosting such an event? A few that you can identify.
Well, of course, the major component of hosting an event is the financial support from the government, the private sector, and of course, other stakeholders support, the local government, and of course, television is a big part. I'd like to thank Signal, One Sport, for supporting all the volleyball activities of PNBF for the last 3 years, and will continue to support us. So I think this is with television, with sponsors, and government support, I think we can host the World Championship.
Okay, I'll deviate a bit. Why is there such an emotional involvement when it's volleyball, which probably matches basketball and a Manny Pacquiao fight? I'm sure you see in social media and what they say and what people are not saying also. Why is there such a passion for volleyball in our country?
I think we were, in the past, the environment was a basketball crazy country.
Yeah.
Now it has become a volleyball crazy country. We are number one in social media, in Facebook, in Twitter for volleyball. Our fans, we call them fantards for volleyball. There's a lot of, and they're updated. The players, even in the Vienna, they're so updated with the top players. I would want the popularity of our women players to have some achievement in terms internationally. This is what I'm looking at as the next step. We get so much popularity, but I need to have also a national team that can get a podium finish in the future, even starting from the SEA Games or from other tournaments abroad.
And do you think with that, the game will even soar even more?
Yeah, I think so. Again, there should be a lot of cooperation from other stakeholders, PVL, UAAP, NCAA, clubs, government, so all these type of things, and I think we'll get there. And by history, the last time that we participated in the World Championship was in 1974.
That's too long ago.
That will be what, more than 50 years by 2025. That was the last time we had a women's national team that went to Mexico in 1974.
Wow, that's 50 years.
50 years. And
I know you try to ignore the comments on social media, but I'm sure, don't you, is the passion there for the sport? Are they active? Do you like this exchange that the fans
well,
have?
I think that's very healthy. Sometimes although I don't have social media.
That's
I don't
good
have
for you,
Facebook.
huh?
Yeah. But I hear comments from my colleagues in PNBF. But for me, I don't mind. That's healthy. There's a lot of discussions among the fans. But if we follow our targets, our objectives, we can reach this. It's not easy to reach our goals if everybody's
Is
incorporated.
the popularity of the sport felt by the international community?
Yes, it's really that's the very reason that the FIVB and Volleyball World have so much interest with Philippines as a good host for a spectator sport like volleyball nowadays. In the Olympic Games, volleyball and beach volleyball are one of the most spectator sport in the Olympic Games. Talagang full house.
Sobra, no? I mean,
Even if there's an late session, alam mo, 3 sessions ng Olympic Games, alam mo,
Exactly.
puno pa rin
Oh.
di ba?
And Sydney and all
Yeah,
the
yeah,
games.
there in
So,
Rio, grabe.
grabe. What's the schedule for PNBF down the road?
Yeah, we will release the calendar for 2024. I just received a week ago the calendar for PVL. We have a full calendar, both indoor and beach. This includes hosting of international events and also participation of our national teams.
How does somebody based mostly in Metro Manila handle a National Sports Association? Communication is important,
Oh, yeah.
and visiting. How is the sport across the country?
Okay.
In Iloilo, we
Yeah.
did 2 games, and
Yeah.
that was filled.
I think the communication is one. The activities in the region are very strong. I give a lot of sports equipment or balls to the regional association. My mentality is that you do an activity first instead of asking. So do an event and then I'll give you. But if you do just ask and there's no event, then I will not give you a sports equipment. It's my mentality. You do your own thing in Davao, even as far as Basilan, they're so very active. Then I give a lot of balls to them, and I continue giving them in Bacolod also. So I think everyone needs to be active, that they're doing something for the sport in their own area.
What's your dream for the sport? What's your goal?
Okay.
What do you see?
We have now a permanent beach volleyball venue in Nuvali.
Yes.
Thank you to Ayala Land. And this will be our permanent venue for local, international events. It is the home of the national beach volleyball teams in Nuvali for the next 5 years. So I'd like to thank Ayala Land for believing in us. My next dream is to have our own gymnasium. I want to have a gym where our national team can stay, can sleep, that there's a dormitory for
Do you
them.
have a place already in mind?
We have seen some locations in the Cavite area. We're just looking at of a prospective, sponsor, a godfather who can build this. It doesn't need to be if you go to Europe, the gymnasiums are just small gymnasiums. Even in Japan, the
Yes.
club gymnasiums are just basic, but there is a lodging. There's a dormitory, there's a cafeteria that our national team can stay, and maybe good for maybe 700 spectators. What is important, we have a full-time gymnasium. This is my next dream. I now have a 5 world-class beach volleyball courts in the valley. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been there, but TV One Sports was there, but it's a beautiful
When the
world-class.
wind blows, you think you're beside the beach.
Yes,
Actually, the
yes,
flags were blowing. I
and
did 3 of the games off tube, so
yeah.
the wind was blowing. It's like, nasa tabi pa tayo ng dagat.
We have the best sand. All the world-class players love the sand. It's quite expensive. It was brought from Quezon. It's called the silica sand. So this is my next dream. I hope if my term ends as president of PNBF, is to have our own gymnasium for our players. Or
Do you think the Filipino woman muna volleyball player is competitive with the best in Asia,
I
in
think
Asia and the
so.
world?
We have the height. We need more dedication.
As a team or individually?
Individually and as a team.
Okay.
We need to focus. We have women players that are playing internationally in Japan, in Korea,
Correct.
and I'm happy for them. You have Gia there. There's Jaja. There's
Jaja.
MJ. There's Iris.
Seth Domingo is also.
Seth Domingo in Thailand. So this helps make the national team really stronger. So I'm looking forward to have a very good 2024, better what's this collaboration with the team owners, club teams in PVL, with UAP and NCAA, and all other stakeholders.
What about the men?
Men? This is one of my strong interests. Because there's not a full calendar for the men,
Yeah.
and they can focus to play in the national team, and we continue with this. And this year we were able to recruit at least 3 Phil-Am players. They did well. We can't offer them that much. They might, like in basketball when you get Phil-Am players, but in here we just give them a modest allowance. They travel. They have a good training, and they're happy. And I'm continuing my partnership with Phil Nation, and I hope by February I will travel to Hawaii, and there are a lot of Filipino American
that's
good
volleyball
players.
country.
Yeah, volleyball country. So I hope we can get more, not only for indoor, for men and women, but also for beach, because we need really height also in beach volleyball
Exactly.
also.
I think they want to find out the announcement. We will have a VNL this coming 2024.
Yes, it has been announced already.
Men or women?
Men.
Men.
June 18 to 23. The venue is still decided because we're still confirming the venue, but we're looking at, again, of course, with MOA and another venue. But
were they pleasantly surprised that we were filling up the venues, the international?
Very, very surprised.
You were seated beside the woman president from Indonesia,
Yeah.
and she sort of whispered to you,
Yes.
"Yes, we'll do it again here."
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yes, it's true. It's really unexpected. Even President Algrasa of FIVB was surprised that how can we fill up.
And we didn't have a team.
We don't have a team. So it became now that they said that Japan is our home team. And now we have USA teams coming, who's also one of the most popular team in the world.
I remember we did Karchkirai before.
Yes,
I remember that.
yeah,
we remember that,
That,
when Karchkirai was so enthusiastic with the coaches, and that was it.
And I spoke to the USA team a month ago during the VNL finals, and they're so excited to be here. Even the wives of these players would like to come because they're so excited with the Philippines, because the relationship of Philippines and USA is really, it's really important.
I think the players were pleasantly surprised that they were so appreciated, despite the fact that we didn't have a team. In fact, can you imagine if we have a team that plays at that level?
Yeah.
To sort of conclude, Tats, what's your message to the followers of volleyball in the country?
Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah. Of course, I'd like to thank also all our Filipino volleyball fans for supporting volleyball for the last 2 years. And I hope you continue supporting the programs of PNBF. This is not an easy journey for PNBF. We do our best to bring international caliber volleyball in the country. But of course, we want also our national team to put also the best players in the national team. And I look forward that 2024 will be a bright year for our national team, for the Philippines. And I hope it will be historic if we win the bid in March to host the first ever 2025 Women's World Championship in the Philippines.
We definitely look forward to that. We'd like to thank Mr. Tats Suzara for joining us here in our long conversation. Keep catching our long conversations with the country's game masters on Pilipinas Live for the ultimate sports viewing experience. Download Pilipinas Live via the Google Play and the App Store and register now for free. We'll see you next time.